Kevin, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
For our viewers, who is Kevin Lewis?
So I have been passionate about humanity, but for the most part, I'm just a young man who is just trying to get a level playing field in this financial tornado that we call the United States of America.
Yeah, I think you really summed it up. Financial tornado. How do you participate in this inclement weather of the financial landscape?
So I'm gonna beat this analogy into the ground. I help people build an umbrella that protects them from. So we operate in the business credit space. We don't discriminate. We are a financial company. We are a financial tech company. We do not discriminate, but we target the African American business owner, and we help them build a business credit profile that makes it more likely for them to be approved for business credit.
What's the difference between business and personal credit?
So business credit is secured using your EIN number, your business's EIN number. Personal is secured using your social. And business credit for a business owner is typically 5 to 10 times, it gives you 5 to 10 times the power. When I say 5 to 10 times the power, if you walked into a store and you applied for a personal credit line from that store, a personal credit card from that store, you might get a $5,000 limit. Same store, walking as a business owner, $50,000 limit. Rewards points. If you got a personal card that gave you points, you may get 1 point for every dollar. Same business card, same company, 5 points for every dollar. So business credit is just going to be more powerful, and that's because all of the financial laws in this country were written so that businesses could take advantage and consumers would be taken advantage of. I mean, I got to put it blatantly.
So tell me more about your story. I mean, to land in this space, not everybody follows this path. How did you come to this point?
Yes, stupidity is how I got there. Stumbled through stupidity. So I got into this space, first of all, on the personal credit side. In 2005, I was divorced. I got divorced. And most people in the credit space, in our experience, most men get into credit challenges because of divorce. Most women get into credit challenges because of health issues. And so I was divorced. I thought I had to file bankruptcy, and I did. My bankruptcy lawyer told me that you've got to learn credit because 60% of the people who file bankruptcy end up 2 years or later filing or attempting to file bankruptcy again or in a worse space. And so she said, if you don't learn credit and understand how to manage it and manipulate it, you may find yourself in this position again. So I started understanding the history of credit, and combined with my passion for really understanding the history of how Black people got into the spaces that they're in. And I combined those two things and saw that you really have to understand the nuances of credit and not just so that you don't get into trouble, but also so that you can use it to your advantage. And then I saw that I started doing that for myself, my family members, my friends, and then, of course, I started as a business. I was born an entrepreneur. When I say I was born, I'm wired as an entrepreneur. I had my first business. I started my first business when I was in 6th grade, selling lollipops.
Okay.
I learned the dollar value of convenience. So I lived near a corner store, what you guys call a corner store. We call them a bodega or a poppy spot.
Yep.
And I was buying Charles blow pops and reselling them for 10 cents profit. So I was wired as an entrepreneur. And that's important because some people happen upon businesses. Because I'm wired as an entrepreneur, I make a terrible employee, first of all. So you ask who Kevin Lewis is, he's a terrible, terrible employee, but I'm a great entrepreneur. But I'm wired to solve my own problems and then use those problems to make profit. And so fast forward, I helped myself, my friends, my family fix their credit, then built a business fixing credit.
There are lots of people who are in your space. How do you distinguish yourself?
social media has really created a way for people to monetize their conversations. But social media only gives you a minute and 20 seconds to captivate. And so you're not getting the full story. I call this thing the subject and predicate, right? People are telling you the subject, they're not telling you the predicate. There's an end of that sentence, right? They may say something like, you can get $50,000 worth of business credit in 30 days. There's an end of that sentence. But you have to have revenues of $25,000 a month or more. You've got to have a business credit profile that has at least 12 trade lines, right? The subject is you can get $50,000 worth of credit in 90 days. That's true. There's a predicate though. They're contingent upon. So how we differentiate ourselves is we're going to give you the full story, and we're going to dispel some of the myths that are out there in this space. Some people are telling you lies, and some people are telling you stuff they don't know the whole story about. So we're out there giving them the full picture and then helping them make the decisions based on that information.
Okay. Well, Kevin, this has been a pleasure. Empowering moments. You've allowed myself and our viewers to learn, to grow, to gain more confidence, to build resilience. And you have definitely given us the subject and the predicate. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.